right, everybody, find a comfortable seat, please. Welcome to evening Wednesday yoga. So I've been doing a lot of journaling, especially in the past few weeks. And a few days ago, I wanted to share some reflection, a part of it that I wrote. But I want to start with a quote that just hit me nicely as I was reading a book today. It's by Stephen Covey. He says, "Seek first to understand, then to be understood." And it's actually related to the reflection from a few days ago. I wrote, us versus them mentality can further propagate a negative narrative, despite a positive underlying intention that one might have, to build empathy and even compassion for the other, whatever the other is, another being, can open a new path to empowerment. Then we're no longer resisting or fighting against something. Instead, we're taking a higher perspective through which we can see the formerly hidden paths of least resistance toward what we'd been striving for. To deeply understand an entity to which we attribute suffering, such as anger, resentment, oppression, domination, can help to release the dark emotional clouds that blind us to wise strategies, to love-induced tactics, by first unbinding ourselves from the quote-unquote chains of mental slavery, as Bob Marley sang. Just something to open up this practice of tuning into resistance that we might have, even if we're underlying intention might be something positive that we want to create. We step into summer and we've been setting intentions together in various ways. Last night with Soul Movement, some of you joined with 108 Sun Salutations. But what ways might we be in our own way in trying to pave a new path towards a goal or a dream or a vision? Simply even in the ways that we speak about that vision. Can we notice within ourselves any kind of resistance so that the blockages that we impose, we can lift through expanded awareness? And I think a lot of it has to do with empathy. And we all have our opinions, but I would like to lead you in a practice of meditation towards empathy in the end. But let's start within ourselves, in the physical practice. Do we find places of resistance within the body that we could allow awareness, allow empathy, and a positive path of least resistance towards opening up? And just something to chew on, however you might digest that for you. Let's come to sit so that the spine is tall and the sitting bones are firmly grounded. And take a moment to roll the shoulders back and down, lifting the heart space, bringing intention into how you hold yourself up from the heart. And let's place the hands in the heart for a moment as you close your eyes and feel what's present in your body this evening, present in your mind, in your breath. Allowing the breath to deepen. Bring awareness to the areas of the body in movement. Exhaling through the mouth. Cleansing release. Take a few more breaths like that. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Call to mind any dedication for your practice or an intention that you're setting. Now slide your palms down to your belly And as you close the lips now, breathe deeply into the belly, where you use your diaphragm to fully expand it without tensing the body. And just as equally out through the nose. Deep inhale into the belly, lifting up through the chest. Deep exhale through the nose. Now, if you're opting out of Bhastrika or bellows breath, the pranayama we're about to start for 1 minute, then you can continue this style of breathing or come back to it when you want to rest. For those of you that might be new to bellows breath, I'll demonstrate quickly. We begin with the elbows bent apart and hands in fists. We take a deep inhale into the belly using the diaphragm, raising the arms up, and a slow exhale through the nose, bending the elbows apart. It becomes a rhythmic breath. It does build fire, but at the end of it, it helps to clear the mind while warming the body up. So let's begin with the elbows bent out to the sides if you're joining us for Bhastrika. Fists with a hand, sit tall, relax the shoulders. Maybe close the eyes and steady the gaze right between the eyebrows. Here we go. Watch the clock for 1 minute. Let's start. Finishing this breath, release the hands down in your lap. Deepening the breath into the nose, out through the nose. Ujjayi pranayama, victorious breath. A gentle whisper at the back of the throat as you softly narrow it. Start to make your way down onto all fours, hands and knees, setting your knees right under your hips and your wrists a couple inches in front of your shoulders. Let's begin. And stretch the spine forward from the pelvis. Then coil your chest up. Breathing out, contract the belly. Tuck the tailbone under and round the back. Nice and slow, easing into synchronizing breath with movement. There's a mantra in Sanskrit that is much about compassion, and it's Loka Samasta Sukhinu Bhavantu. You'll hear it in the playlist today. And it means, may all beings be happy and free. Let's turn the index fingers to face forward parallel to each other and tuck the toes, bend the knees and lift the hips really high, coming into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And just if you want to shift around, take a moment to do your own organic motion, pedaling the feet, softly moving the head. Cultivating warmth in the breath as you steady it through the nose. Feel your hands like thirsty roots of a tree, spreading down the weight through every knuckle of each palm and even firmly between the index and thumbs. And as you straighten the arms, bend the knees as much as needed to truly lift the hips high and shift your weight back to feel the full length of your spine, even in the neck. So you're lifting the shoulder blades away from the neck and across the upper back. by rotating the triceps towards the floor. And then bring your attention to the fronts of your thighs, the very top fronts of your thighs. Press them back and begin to sink the heels towards the mat. Whether or not they touch the mat, doesn't matter. Just drawing the energy down. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Feel the belly alive as you engage it slightly. And with an inhale, shift forward into plank pose, top of a push-up. Let's pause for a few breaths. See that your wrists are right under the shoulders. Then look forward of your hands, lengthening your neck. Broaden the chest forward, broaden the shoulder blades across the upper back, and lift the lower belly. Lift the sides of your waist. Now, if your legs are straight, actively press the heels back and engage the fronts of your thighs. Think of mountain pose even though your body's horizontal here. Let's take 1 more breath. Now on a slow exhale, glide forward, passing through Chaturanga Dandasana, where you bend the elbows to hug the side ribs, lowering halfway, then come all the way down. Pointing the toes on the mat, let's press the forehead onto the floor for a moment and reach the hands behind your lower back to clasp or grab a strap. Keeping the feet heavy on the ground, coil your chest up and look on the floor head for about 5 breaths. Now feel the knuckles of your hands as though they're reaching towards your heels. As you melt the shoulder blades down your back ribs, breathe into your heart space. Float the sternum up. Broaden the collarbones. Feel the pubic bone heavy on the earth, the feet rooted on the ground, legs lengthening back. Now, keeping the chest lifted, land right into cobra or upward facing dog, placing the hands alongside your floating ribs and coiling the chest up for 1 breath in. Then tuck your toes, lift your hips through plank pose, then downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Walk your feet about halfway forward towards your hands. Separate your feet about as wide as the width of your mat, preparing for a twist. Cross your right hand to the outside of your left ankle or calf and root your right heel into the earth. Turn your gaze from under your left armpit towards the sky, and then just let your head hang. Soften your neck and take a couple more breaths in the spinal twist. Rotating your rib cage as you draw your right outer hip back, trying to maintain stability in the lower back. Set your right hand down in front. Cross the left hand in front of the right shin to catch hold of the outer calf or ankle. Root your left heel down. Then look underneath your right armpit towards the sky and let the head fall. The effort of balancing your 2 hips to stabilize your lower back as you twist at your waistline. Then set the left hand down and walk the 2 feet in between your hands at the top of your mat in a forward fold. Bending the knees generously, drop your arms, relax the head, and engage the belly as you breathe in to roll up slowly, stacking 1 vertebra at a time, lifting your head last. Float the shoulders up, and with an exhale, roll them behind you and down. Palms facing forward, standing tall and brightly in mountain pose, a symbol of equanimity, centered mind. Spread your weight to the 4 corners of each foot and inhale, sweep your arms overhead, saluting the sun. Palms meet. With an exhale, bend your knees and lengthen your spine as you bow down towards the earth. Press your fingertips on the ground ahead or your legs. Breathe in and float your heart forward as if pressing it through the gates of your arms. Exhale, bow a little deeper. Firming down through both feet, inhale, sweep the arms, lifting from the heart, rise and gaze up. Palms touch in salutation. Exhale to your heart center. Let's try 1 more, Ardha Surya Namaskar, half sun salutation. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, bow forward. Keeping the weight forward towards the balls of your feet. Inhale, lift the heart, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bow again. Rooting down to your feet, inhale, sweep the arms to rise. Look up. Exhale your palms together at your heart center. Let's move into sun salutation A. Inhale, sweep the space around you, deep breath. Enlivening your body, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift your heart, lengthen the sides of your waist, then plant your hands, step into plank pose of your choice. Exhaling as you lower forward through Chaturanga. Now come all the way down for Cobra or flip your toes at Chaturanga for upward facing dog. Engaging the belly, lift the hips back. Downward facing dog. Breathing in, breathing out. Steady the waves of your breath. With very bent knees, look ahead of your fingertips. At the end of your next exhalation, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat, forward fold. Breathing in, press the heart forward. Exhale, fold in. Firming down into the earth, inhale, sweep the arms, rising up towards the sky. Exhale, bring it to heart center. One more, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, float the heart forward. Step to plank or jump back to Chaturanga, your choice. Lowering, then inhale to Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, lift to your center, downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here. Now in downward facing dog, breathe in to raise the right leg behind you. As you exhale, shift forward into plank, so it's a three-legged plank. Shoulders are right on top of the wrists. Lift the side waist, gaze ahead of the hands. Lengthen the tailbone back towards your inner right heel, which is in line with your right hip. Flexing the right foot. Breathe here. We're staying for 3 to 5 more breaths. If you want another variation, you can start to raise the left arm forward, trying to keep your two hips leveled without swaying them like a seesaw. Two shoulders level too. Lengthen through both sides of the neck. Maybe you open the left arm out to the left, the right leg out to the right, like airplane wings. Take one more breath here. Come back through center. Lower the left hand, bend the right knee towards your nose in plank, and step the right foot inside of the right hand. Lower the back knee into a kneeling lunge and untuck the back toes. Without moving the right leg, imagine you're dragging it towards the rear of your mat to find stability as you raise the arms overhead in Anjaneyasana. Deep breath in, feel the lift from lower spine to crown. Slow breath out, feel the releasing down of the shoulders, the tailbone anchoring towards the earth, and even tilting towards your inner right heel. Bring your awareness to your center, right below your belly button. Draw that in towards the spine, lift it slightly towards the heart, and then feel the heart blossom open, the heart space, lifting it up back towards the sun. Maybe the palms touch in salutation. Let's take one more deep breath. Now join your hands together at your heart. Firm the right heel directly under right knee and lengthen your spine forward, preparing to twist. As you exhale, turn the rib cage to face the right wall. Either lower the left hand on the floor block right under your shoulder, or hook the left elbow outside your right thigh, where you could keep the hands in prayer or open the arms wide. We're going to be here for about 5 more breaths to steady your attention by steadying your eyes. Now, if you want to lift the back knee, you could come into a high lunge. Just be aware that you're keeping your two hips leveled, not rotating the pelvis. If your hands are in prayer, bring your heart center to meet your thumbs. Slide the shoulder blades down your back. Deep inhale. Look down at the floor just under your left shoulder. Plant your left hand flat there so the wrist is right under the shoulder. Fingers are spread. Place your right hand on your right hip. Roll onto the outer edge of your left foot. The pinky to the side. Flex the left foot. Either step the right foot down midway down your mat on the right edge, facing the right wall like a kickstand, modified Vashisthasana, or stack the right flexed foot over the left flexed foot. Raising the right arm, let's take a few breaths. Feel the support of the earth, and that when you root back into that support, you feel the lift up. The left hip rises, the right hand reaches towards the sky. Can you feel mountain pose here from the top of your head, tailbone to heels? As you feel ready, sweep the right arm overhead, planting the hand on the ground, stepping back to downward facing dog. Slow breath in, slow breath out. Rebalance. Now see that your feet are hips width apart. Firm the outer hips towards your midline. Inhale, raise the left leg behind you and flex the foot. Exhale, keep that leg lifted and shift forward to plank. Stack the shoulders right on top of the wrist, gaze forward. Now, feel the alignment of mountain pose. Crown of the head, reaching forward, tailbone lengthening back towards inner left heel. As we stay a few more breaths, if you want to play with the fire a little bit more, you can keep the hips leveled and try to reach the right arm forward. Then keep the shoulders level too. Deep breaths. If you're lifting arm and leg, maybe open right arm to the right, left leg to the left, like airplane wings. Take another breath where you are. Come back through center. Deep inhale as you reach. Lower the right hand, lift the left leg back. Oh, come back to plank pose. Bend the knee towards your nose and step the left foot forward inside of your left hand. Lower the right knee and untuck the toes. Anjaneyasana. So energize your left leg as if you're dragging it towards the back. Release down the shoulders, the tailbone, and feel the rise and fall of your breath, synchronizing with that. Perhaps you bring the palms to touch, tilting the heart to gaze up towards the sun. One more deep inhale here. Then join your palms to meet at your heart. See that your left heel is directly under your left knee. Then lengthen your spine forward as you breathe in. Twisting at your waistline, exhale, turn the chest to face the left wall. Either lower the right hand directly under the shoulder or cross the right elbow outside your left thigh. Or hands stay in prayer or arms open wide. You've got about 5 breaths here. So steady your gaze on something to help steady your mental focus. Now, if you did so on the first side, lift the back knee and come into a high lunge, rebalancing your 2 hips as you lengthen the spine from them, turning the rib cage and softening the shoulders down your back. Deep inhale, calm exhale. One more breath. Look down at the floor just under your right shoulder. Place your right wrist there so the palm is flat. Bring your left hand to your left hip and roll onto the outer edge of your right foot flexed. Step the left foot midway down your mat onto the left edge facing the left like a kickstand, or stack the left foot flexed on top of the right foot flexed. Lifting the left arm, breathe expansion into your body. Imagine your breath was like helium and it's helping you to lift through the left fingertips, lift through the right hip. Then softening the shoulders away from your neck. Feel mountain pose solid. Can you feel the aliveness at your center? The openness at the heart space. Sweep your top arm overhead. We'll meet in downward facing dog, whether or not you choose to add a vinyasa. Downward facing, deep breaths. On your next inhale, raise the right leg behind you. Then exhale, bend the knee and turn open at the hip. As you breathe in, tack your left outer hip back. And as you breathe out, lightly tap right knee to right elbow or tricep forward and plank. Pause here. See if you can lift the right knee a little higher towards the armpit. Then step the right foot directly between your hands for warrior two. Spin the back heel down. Align the right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot. Then press your both feet and windmill your arms apart to rise up. Now see that your stance allows your wrists to stack above your ankles, unless you're looking for something not so intense where you could bring the feet closer together. Feel that your left leg is turning inward from the hip so that your left toes are slightly facing the front of your mats. The right leg turns out. As you bend the front knee just over the heel, you're wrapping the right sitting bone down underneath you. Lifting the frontal hip bones, feel your pelvis upright. And then breathe consciously for about 4 more breaths, steadying your gaze ahead. And here's that mantra again. Loka samasta sukhinu bhavantu. Place your left fingertips on your left leg, keep the right knee bent, and sweep the right palm face up overhead towards the rear of your mat in exalted or peaceful warrior. Breathing into your right side body. Feel expansion at the right wall of your rib cage, down into the crease of your right hip. With your center contained, inhale, rise up, straighten the front leg for triangle pose. Now you might want to shorten your stance a couple inches for stability. With legs straight, slide your hips towards the back edge of your mat and reach the right hand forward laterally before tilting it down to land on your leg or just to the right outside of your leg. Now either raise the left arm up high, like one straight line, or another lateral stretch on the opposite side of the torso. Sweep the left arm overhead towards the front of the mat, wrapping the tricep towards the left wall and down. As you spiral your chest slightly towards the sky, soften the shoulders, again away from the neck. Direct the tailbone to lengthen towards your left outer heel. Feel the strength of your legs where you could lighten the weight of your right hand, maybe gazing up. Taking just about 4 more breaths here in Udita Trikonasana. Preparing for Ardha Chandrasana, you might place your left hand on your left hip. Look at the floor ahead of your right foot and steady your gaze there as you transition. Bend your right knee, crawl your right fingertips forward and to the right, outer upper corner of your right foot. Drag your left foot forward and flex that foot as you lift the heel at about the height of your hip. Now imagine there's a wall at the rear edge of your mat and you're pressing your left heel against that wall. Feel the support of that lifted leg as you turn your chest completely to face the left wall. Now, if your balance and breath feel pretty steady, maybe raise the left arm up, like triangle pose. If you want to play with full moon, you could bend the left knee towards your belly, catch the top of the foot with the left hand, and kick the leg towards straight as you pull, so the counter forces help you balance as you open the left side of your chest. Whatever the variation, maybe you're here for 3 breaths or more. But on your own, when you feel ready to come out of it, try to softly transition back to warrior two. Stepping the left foot towards the rear of your mat and cartwheeling the arms apart. Once you arrive in warrior two, straighten the right leg. For 1 inhale, sweep the right palm overhead to reverse triangle pose. Then exhale your 2 hands to the mat in plank to lower into your vinyasa of choice, or no vinyasa if you don't need more heat right now. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Downward dog. Feel stability in your upper back as you wrap the shoulder blades out to the sides. Triceps rolling downward towards the floor. Here we go, second side. Inhale, raise the left leg behind you. Exhale, bend that knee and turn open at the hip. Inhale, tack the right hip further back. Exhale, slowly touch left knee to left elbow or tricep, forward in plank. Pause there and breathe in. See if you can lift the left knee higher towards the armpit. Then exhale, lightly land left foot directly between the hands. Warrior 2. Spin the back heel down. Align your left heel to the arch of your right foot. Then pressing through both feet, windmill your arms to rise up. Virabhadrasana 2. Feel your stance depending on the intensity you're seeking. Generally, the ankle's right under your wrists. From your right hip, rotate the right leg inward, slightly pointing the toes towards the front of your mat. From the left hip, turn out the left leg and bend the front knee just over the heel, wrapping the sitting bone under your body as you firm top of your right thigh bone back. And as your pelvis is upright, feel the full length of your spine. Breathing in, steady your gaze. Breathing out, feel the balance of strength and grace. Let's take one more breath here. Now keep the bend in your left knee. Lower your right fingertips on your right leg and flip the left palm up. Lift the sideways, then laterally lean towards the back edge of your mat. Exalted or peaceful warrior. Feel your breath expand the left wall of your rib cage down into the crease of your left hip. Feel that you're still pointing the left knee forward, not buckling it into the right. Couple more breaths. Feel the strength of your belly here, especially in the transitions. Inhale, rise up, straighten the left leg. Exhale, slide the hips back, maybe shorten the stance if you did so on the first side for triangle, and reach the left hand forward as far as you can before tilting it down onto your left leg or to the outside left side of it. How's your breathing? Feel the support of your legs, so strong that you could make your left hand light. Feel your tailbone actively reach towards your right heel, allowing space in your lower back. As your front ribs hug the back of your body, rotate your chest slightly upwards towards the sky. Now, if you did that lateral stretch on the first side, extended triangle, wrap the right tricep towards the right wall and sweep the right arm overhead towards the front wall. About 4 more breaths here in Utthita Trikonasana. Now shifting towards half moon, mindful transition. Steady your gaze down ahead of your left foot. You might place the right hand on your right hip. Bend your left knee. Reach your left fingertips forward and to the left of your left foot. Drag the right foot forward and flex it, lifting the heel about the height of your hip. Turn your chest completely to face the right wall. How's your breathing? If you feel pretty stable here, maybe raise the right arm up. Feel the strength of your lifted leg as you flex the foot, helping to steady your balance. If you want to come into Ardha Chandra Chapasana, bend the right knee towards your belly and catch the top of the foot with your right hand. Kicking the leg towards straight as you pull it like a bow and arrow, Coil the right side of your chest open, but stay connected to your center. Maybe you're here for another breath or few. As you feel ready to land, again, mindful transition. Stay aware of your breathing and try to softly step back to Warrior Two. Nice. When both feet meet the ground, straighten your legs. Flip the left palm up. Inhale into reverse triangle. Just one breath. Exhale your two hands to the earth. Flow or no flow, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Resting whenever you need rest. It's interesting, sometimes I feel like we, or I personally, sometimes need permission to rest. Practicing that empathy or compassion with yourself. Let's take 2 or 3 more breaths where you are. Now with bent knees, lift your heels and hips high, look past your hands. We're gonna land sitting down with the legs in front of you. So if you wanna try to jump through, you might take a few hops forward or bring the feet to touch. Hollow the belly, lift the pelvic floor at the end of the exhalation. And make your way sitting down. So once you are sitting with the legs in front, bend your knees, step your feet together for one round of Navasana boat pose. Now you can either set the hands down beside your hips on the floor, you can hold the backs of your thighs, or reach the arms forward, or maybe the arms up. Now feel the lift of your spine as you root down through your sitting bones. Again, that principle of rooting down to rise up. Drawing the navel. And picture the base of your spine, right at your tailbone area, the root center. Imagine breathing in to there. Then exhale, that's 7. Now into your lower belly, your center, breathe in. Exhale, 6. Into your solar plexus, upper abdomen, breathe in. Exhale, 5. The center of your chest, heart center, breathe in. Exhale, 4, center of your throat, inhale. Exhale, 3, right between the eyebrows, breathe in. Exhale, 2, right above the crown of your head. Exhale, release the legs, feet to the ground, bend the knees apart, bring the soles of your feet together. Sliding your heels close to your pelvis, sit up tall and looking the hands forward. Feel the weight of your pelvis, balancing the lift of the heart and the lengthening of the spine forward. 2 last breaths here in Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Now walk your hands towards you and lead with your chest, your heart. Breathe in to rise. So step your feet together to touch. Hug the backs of your thighs or the fronts of your shins, and like a ball, start to rock and roll forward and back a few times. Massaging up and down the length of your spine. And eventually we'll meet standing up tall at the front of your mats in mountain pose. Nice. Shift your weight onto your left foot and feel your weight press down through the 4 corners of that foot. Like you're drawing energy from the earth. You feel energized through the muscles of the left leg, quad, hamstring, muscles around the knees. Then as you feel your center engage, bend your right knee in front of you and flex the foot. Catch hold of the back of the thigh and press your thigh against your hands. Roll the shoulders back and down and stack your shoulders above your balanced hips. Navel, draw it in, lift it up, and then steady your gaze ahead. Now begin to straighten the right leg to whatever degree as you flex or floint your foot. You're pressing the thigh against your hands. Feel the right hip weighing downward to match the height of the left hip. Feel the navel contrasting, drawing it in and lifting it up, creating a lightness through the spine, a lightness through the heart space. Maybe for the last 3 breaths, you raise the arms up, relax the shoulders down, or join the hands together at your heart. Imagine this is Warrior 3, except you're vertical. Now rebend the right knee, and let's come into Warrior 3. Press the right heel back, grow the spine forward by looking ahead of you on the floor. You could bend the left knee to help you balance your 2 hips. Hands could be at your heart, hands could be on the floor, on blocks. Any variations with your arms. Steady breath, steady eyes. Flexing the right foot as you turn right hip down and draw left outer hip back. Last couple of breaths here. So like a seesaw, we're going to come back to that first position, lifting the torso upright, bending the right knee in front, catching the back of the right thigh. Press your thigh against your hands again, rebalance your 2 hips, and bring your left hand to your left hip. Keep flexing the right foot and bring your right hand to your right knee. Now you can keep the right knee bent as we open the leg to the right, or to straighten the leg, bring your right arm inside of the leg and clasp your big toe or grab your strap to loop around the foot. Extending the right leg forward to whatever degree you can keep the right shoulder in its socket and your spine upright. Turn out your right leg and begin to open it. Open the left arm too. Hand to big toe pose. Feel the bowl shape of your pelvis and how you're keeping it upright by adjusting the right leg as you need to. And by keeping the pelvis upright, notice how you can feel the strength of your center line down the spine. Last couple of breaths. Blossom the heart open and slowly bring the right leg in front. Step the right foot to meet the left. And let's flip the left toes so that you can stretch the top of the foot for a moment. Relax the shoulders back and down, relax the jaw, and let's set that left foot down. So as you shift your weight onto your right foot, spread your weight into the 4 corners of that foot. Rooting down, feel the muscles in your right leg engage, surrounding the knee. Then bend your left knee and flex the foot in front of you, catching the back of the left thigh, your hamstring. Press your thigh against your hands and roll your shoulders back and down to stack above your 2 balanced hips. Feel your center contained. Draw your navel towards the spine and up towards your heart. Feel the strength of your standing leg. Steady eyes, steady breath. Straightening the left leg to whatever degree you can. Flex or floint the foot. Feel the front of your left thigh, your quadricep enliven here. Balance the 2 hips, and for the last about 3 breaths, maybe raise the arms or join the hands at your heart. Feel this vertical Warrior 3 with your center awake. Let's move into Warrior 3 this time. Start to lean the torso forward, reach the left leg back. You might bend the right knee in the process to help balance your 2 hips. Hands could be at the heart, they could be back by your sides, they could be on the ground or blocks, whatever variation. Can you feel how you're balancing effort with ease? Awareness of your center and your body globally or holistically. Deep breaths. Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Coming back to that first position, start to lift the spine, bend the left knee in front again, catch hold of the back thigh and flex or float the foot. Balance the pelvic bowl and bring your right hand to your right hip. If you're going to keep your left knee bent, catch hold of it with your left hand. If you're going to straighten the left leg to some degree, bring the left arm inside the leg and clasp your big toe or lasso the foot with your strap. If you're straightening the leg just to the point where your spine can stay upright and shoulders are both back and down. Steady breath. Start to turn out your left leg, then open it slowly. Open the right arm too, and find just the degree of opening that left leg where you can feel strong down your center line. A few more breaths. In Uttita Hasta Padangushtasana, hand to big toe pose. With soft but focused gaze, bring your left leg in front of you again. Then step your left foot down. Let's flip the top of the right foot to the floor and just give the top of that foot a stretch. Maybe roll out the shoulders, maybe flutter the lips. Now invite you, if you have your own heated inversion practice, which could be handstand, headstand, forearm balance, tripod, headstand, or if you want to practice arm balance like crow, to take that on your own for the next minute and a half or so. What could be included are downward facing dog, a wide-legged forward fold of your choice, or dolphin pose. So take your choice of a heated inversion. If you're going to come into tripod headstand, I'll walk you through that by taking a wide stance, like you're about to come into wide-legged forward fold. Bring your hands to your hips and see that your feet are parallel. And whether or not you take it all the way through to the headstand, you can play with the process and just feel into where you're ready to end. So lengthen the spine forward as you fold. Plant the hands on the floor. Lift the heart and lengthen the neck. Shoulder blades down the back. Belly engaged. Walk your hands back, keeping the fingertips facing forward, just like the toes. Keeping the arms parallel and shoulders width apart. Now the hands need to be flat on the floor here if you are going into tripod headstand, because they're going to be a huge part of what's carrying your weight. So if they're not flat on the floor, maybe the hamstrings are tight, you could bend the knees, or you could step the feet wider apart, or both. Then you'll want to bring the very top of your head to the ground so that you find a natural curve in your neck. You're not tilting chin to chest or the opposite. Making a triangular base, top of the head, one vertex, your two wrists, the other vertices. And then you'll start to put more weight on your hands as you bend the elbows like chaturanga. Shoulders away from the neck. You could start by placing one knee on top of one upper arm, and then the other knee on top of the other upper arm, and it's like crow pose with little weight on your head. Most weight is on your hands. You're pushing the floor away with the hands. Maybe you start to bend the knees towards your belly, like boat pose, that activation in the navel, which could help you to eventually straighten the legs up. If you're straightening the legs, flex or floint the feet, and feel the muscles in the legs support your balance too. Think mountain pose, upside down. Stack your ankles above your hips, above your shoulders. Deep breaths. You don't want to feel any compression in your neck in this pose. The hands are doing a lot to press the floor away, so the shoulders are lifted away from the neck. When you decide to come down, reverse the process. You place the knees on your upper arms, or move through what's like a boat pose. You bring the feet together, whether legs are straight or knees are bent, and contracting the belly. Slowly lower the legs forward. You can splay them apart to come back to that wide-legged forward folds. Now, when you are ready to rest, let's eventually meet in child's pose. Any variations of your arms, maybe a side stretch of your own. A few breaths in child's pose, Balasana.
Now, if you have a strap or something like it to support any tightness in your shoulders, reach for that strap and let's roll up slowly to sit.
Coming into Gomukhasana, cow face pose. So as you're sitting, straighten your left leg forward and take your right thigh to cross over the left thigh as much as you can so that maybe you can stack the knees down your midline. You can decide to keep the left leg straight, which will offer a stretch into the hamstring, but also help to be more balanced. Or you could bend both knees and splay the feet wider apart, gently flex the feet. Then with a strap in your left hand, if you're using it, so right leg is on top, left arm is up. You can dangle the strap behind you, bending your left elbow behind the center of your head, land your left palm between your shoulder blades. You could also hold your shirt there. Reach the right hand underneath, grab your shirt or the strap, or walk the hands closer together to clasp. Then root down to your sitting bones and breathe length up the center of your spine, blossoming the heart space open, opening the throat. Then leading forward with the heart, keep your spine long and bow, breath by breath. Still drawing the navel in towards the back. Firming the sitting bones like strong roots down into the earth. Let's take a couple last breaths here in cow face pose, Gomukhasana. Continue to firm the belly, lead from the heart, breathe in to slowly rise. Release the arms, straighten both legs for a moment, and maybe roll out your feet. Then take your left thigh, cross it over the right to stack the knees. Decide if you're going to straighten the right leg or bend it, splaying the feet apart and flex. Ground the sitting bones, raise the right arm, hang the strap behind you if you're using it. Bend the right elbow behind the center of your head and land the palm between your shoulder blades. Reach the left hand underneath. Walk the hands as close together as you can. Maybe they clasp. Root down through the sitting bones and feel the lift up through the center of your spine. Open your throat. And as you exhale, lead with your heart and bow in. Taking your time, breath by breath. Let's take a couple more breaths here. Start with your chest. Breathe in to slowly rise up. Release your arms and stretch the legs again. Shake them out, roll them out, shake anything out. Let's prepare for Paschimottanasana. As you straighten both legs, you might like to use your strap for both feet. But if no strap, raise your arms, ground the sitting bones, flex your feet, then extend your heart forward to bow. If you're not holding on to something, do catch hold of your legs or your big toes, and then find a little bit of cobra pose with your chest slightly lifted and your shoulders rolled back and down. Feel the length of your lower spine as you firm the belly against it. Let's drop into 3 more very slow exhalations, sustaining the breath out longer than the breath in. Helping the body to cool down, the nervous system to more deeply relax. Lead with your chest and breathe in to slowly rise up. Find a comfortable seat as we practice a pranayama to help us deepen the relaxation to Shavasana. So we're going to practice alternate nostril breathing, which, as many of you know, also helps to balance the left and right hemispheres of the brain. So sit tall, relax the body. You might eventually close your eyes and direct your gaze up between the eyebrows, helps to focus. Place your left hand on your lap. You might like the mudra of bringing thumb and index finger to touch to help focus. And with the right hand, stick out your thumb, pinky, and ring finger. As you close your lips, steady the breath softly and sustained through your nose. Empty this breath, then hold it out. With your right thumb, cover your right nostril. Inhale through your left. Hold the breath in. With the last two fingers, cover left nostril. Exhale through right. Hold the breath out. Inhale through right. Hold. Cover right with thumb. Exhale through left. Hold. Inhale left. Hold. Cover left with two fingers. Exhale right. As you feel ready, go at your own pace. Hold. Inhale right. Hold. Cover right with thumb. Exhale left. Hold. Inhale left. Hold. Cover left. Exhale right. Finishing just another round or two on your own. Releasing your hands. Allow your breath to flow naturally now. And maybe you keep your eyes closed as you find your way down to the floor or legs up the wall, whatever position you choose to be still in Shavasana. Now, if for the remainder of 2 minutes, this practice, you would like to sit up for meditation, and please begin to lift your body into a comfortable seat. Otherwise, feel free to stay in Shavasana if you like. For those of you that are sitting for meditation, either close your eyes or a soft gaze on the floor just ahead of you. Feeling an upright spine, a grounded pelvis. Notice the breath naturally flowing. Feel the ease of your physical body. And I invite you to call to mind someone, a being, an entity, a group that you might feel any kind of resistance towards. Perhaps it's a feeling of anger or resentment. And without dwelling so much on that feeling, just a light touch of it, and come back to your breath. Come back to where you are here. And just having a peek of that feeling or a sense of that feeling. Notice the response in your body. Might there be a contraction somewhere? A change to a shallower breath? A tightened spot? Just allowing your awareness to scan your body. As you might observe any reaction there. Imagine breathing into that part. And as you exhale, helping to release or soften the edge of it just a bit. As you pay attention to any reaction, notice any holding within you that may be unnecessary or perhaps even harmful to yourself. Can you give yourself an offering of loving attention? In your own language, saying to yourself, may I be free. May I feel free. If you're still lying down, begin to lift your body up to sit. Let's place both hands at the heart and feel the comforting touch on your heart center. Loka samasta sukhinu bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. Let's close the practice, joining in one Om. Take a deep breath. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.